Oak Island, the source of a million mysteries. To start with, let's first consider what we definitely know about this place. Oak Island is a 140-acre piece of land located 200 meters from the shores of mainland Lunenberg County, to which it is connected by a causeway and a gate. The main source of intrigue on the island are the money pit we mentioned in our Knights Templar entry, a seemingly man-made boulder arrangement known as Nolan's Cross, another suspiciously neat-looking swamp that is cut in the shape of a triangle, and the strip of beach found at Smith's Cove. The island is privately owned by a group called Oak Island Tours, with a small portion claimed by other private investors. The owners claim that the only reason they haven't properly excavated the island to see what lies beneath is the huge financial cost involved. Of course, modern technology would allow us to see deep underground without digging a single inch down, but this is also very expensive to perform. And even if there are hidden objects of value on Oak Island, the owners won't want them to be found, since they'll immediately become property of the Canadian government and they'll lose their money-spinning tourist trap. So what might be there? Well, evidence of an ancient Micmac Indian burial site has been found, and so they may have stored some of their treasure on Oak Island. Another group friendly with the Micmacs were the Acadians, who were the descendants of French colonists who lived in the area, and who are known in Louisiana as Cajuns. These people had genetic links to both the ancient Templars of Europe and various pirate groups, including the Lafitte brothers of New Orleans. So right off the bat, we have two possible threads to tug at. But let's focus on the Templars first. Masonic Templar markings have been found all over Oak Island, and experts familiar with their history say that the money pit seems to replicate a Masonic initiation ritual, which involved a hidden vault and sacred treasure. This indicates that the Acadian Cajun Masons of North America may have brought over the lost Templar treasures and hidden them sometime in the past few centuries, which would make far more sense than placing a group of 13th century religious knights in North America. But another twist to this tale came in 2014, when it was claimed that a producer on the TV show The Curse of Oak Island had been tipped off by the great-granddaughter of a Nova Scotian Masonic Grand Master, Matt Chisholm. Matt Chisholm was reportedly told of a secret room in a Masonic lodge which had only just been discovered, and in this room was a shrine and an altar. On the altar there was an ancient Masonic map, and as well as containing several strange symbols, the map also pointed directly to Oak Island. Hours after he was told of this, Matt Chisholm was dead. Is this evidence of a Masonic cover-up, or just a grisly conspiracy that seeks to take advantage of a tragic young man's death? We're not sure, but let's move on to the links that the Acadian people had with pirates, and fondle the second strand of inquiry. The Lafitte brothers we mentioned earlier were known to have raided Spanish and British fleets along the Gulf Coast, so it's possible that they later buried the treasure somewhere on Oak Island to keep it safe. Remember that Spanish treasure we mentioned earlier, which gave its name to Florida's Treasure Coast? Well, some or perhaps all of it may have ended up here, courtesy of the Lafittes, or some unscrupulous Spaniards who lied about a hurricane. This island has also been rumored as the supposed location of Captain William Kidd's treasure, who famously said he'd buried his haul on an island east of Boston. That rather vague description could be one of thousands of places, but I think that was the point. Another group that are often mentioned in connection with Oak Island are the ancient Romans, with the discovery of a ceremonial sword and a possible Roman shipwreck near Oak Island used to advance the theory that Romans visited North America more than a millennia before Christopher Columbus. Stone inscriptions which bear resemblance to ancient Egyptian carvings have also been found on Oak Island, but these are thought more likely to be evidence of a Masonic presence rather than Egyptian transatlantic travel, as the Masons modeled their imagery on things like the Egyptian sacred star. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt was himself a believer in the Oak Island treasure trove, and at the age of 27 he worked on an excavation on the site, with him and his companions believing that the French crown jewels of Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette had been smuggled here by the Masons. It was also thought possible that the English crown jewels, supposedly lost by King John, may have ended up on Oak Island. And at this point, you gotta wonder if Peking Man will be found taking a nap there too. Lost scientific inventions, King Solomon's temple treasure, unknown Shakespeare plays, and papers indicating the true identity of Shakespeare himself are some of the other objects of intrigue said to lie deep beneath Oak Island. And because of these rumors, many have flocked there in a bid to find out for themselves. Not all of them have come back alive. And since 1861, 6 people have died trying to excavate the money pits. 4 of them died in just one day, when Robert Restall Sr., Robert Restall Jr., Cyril Hills, and Carl Greaser all passed away on August 17, 1965, each killed by carbon monoxide poisoning courtesy of a gasoline pump. More successful excavations have discovered a cement chamber at the bottom of the money pit, and in the 1960s, drill bits came up bearing traces of gold. But some people believe that if there was once a grand haul of treasure on Oak Island, that today it is long gone. One of the island's previous owners, Anthony Graves, was a strange man who was known to pay people with old Spanish silver coins. Did Graves find the treasure decades ago? And has he spent it all? Another theory says that Oak Island was used as a base to bury treasure on other nearby islands. And since Oak is one of 360 islands in Mahone Bay, this seems more plausible than the zombie sequel of Romeo and Juliet turning up. But whether you believe there's treasure here or not, you can't help but wonder why such a small, nondescript island off the coast of Canada has attracted so much attention. Romans, pirates, Roosevelt, Templars. This place has the lot. And if just one small smidgen of this story is true, well, won't that be something?